Hello and welcome back. Last time it was very hot and it still is very hot here in California, so I'm indoors. And it looks like you're indoors too.
Yes, I'm in my office. I'm working remote and I just started on Monday last week. So I'm like working and rebuilding my office. Yes, nice and cool here.
I wanted to pick up where we left off because we got cut off from the heat, and you were talking about how you having a positive mindset caused you to not address things that should have been addressed. Not that you were ignoring them, but you would just, because you said I'm the queen of reframing things, and then you went into it, and then
Mm.
my phone overheated. So if you could just elaborate on that a little bit more, so we could, because I mean, I'm sure you left everyone hanging. You left me hanging. I didn't know what you were gonna say.
Funny you mentioned that. I don't even know what to say about it. So I think for me, it's difficult to talk about because I'm not on the other end. Like I haven't fully processed it. It's not resolved in my life. Like I'm in therapy and I'm working through things, and so it feels extra vulnerable to talk about something when you're in the midst of it and processing it. So um something that I've come to realize is that I yes, I focus on the positive. I'm just super grateful for things that are, and I wasn't really addressing my needs. I was just tending to my needs, I guess. I was just like grateful for how things are. And you would think that's a good thing. I thought it was good. I was grateful for it. I didn't feel there were big deficits in my life, or I didn't feel anything like that. But I took this strengths. It's, I think I have the book here. Actually, we did this training um, at work, and it's called Strengths Finder from Gallup, and so you could take the assessment. I took this assessment, and it told me my top five strengths. And what I love about it is it talks about when you overuse your strengths, they can become a weakness. So there's an importance of balance there, of like, and so for me, I was overly positive and overly grateful, which you wouldn't think would be a negative or bad. And like I said, this is the thing that I'm grappling with and trying to like reconcile and working in therapy, is you wouldn't think that would be bad, but I wasn't tending to things in my life that need to be tended to. I was just grateful for how it was, and not addressing other things. I don't even know how to say it. I don't know. I think that's why it feels like I feel like super vulnerable about it, because I'm not really sure. I'm not to the other end of it. And also, yeah. So I'm in that process. If you have a strength and you overuse a strength, it can become a weakness. And I think that became a weakness in my life, of like just being overly positive on things. Isn't that weird? Like
Yeah.
how could being overly positive be a weakness in your life? But it was. It yeah, I'm learning. I didn't know.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable on that, and especially because that's not something you're on the other side with yet, but you're in it, and you've you've identified what it is that you need to work on, and it's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is. You know,
Yeah.
especially being at my age, 30, 40 something, whatever that is. It's kind of crazy to still be, we talked about this a few episodes ago, to still be discovering things about ourselves. And I hope that I always am, but it's painful in the process. Like whenever
Yeah.
something's illuminated to you that you didn't even know that you were operating from, or you didn't even know that there were these other things in play, that like to have that realization is like, I should have known that by now, I feel like, but it is what it is.
Well, it's true. I mean, you're saying you should know these things by now, but I think what we mentioned in the last one was in your childhood, you're so influential and everything is influencing your thoughts and your who you are gonna be as an adult. And then when you're an adult, like your early 20s, they say there's like phases, right? Your early 20s, you're figuring out life, and then your 30s, you're settling into it, and then your 40s, you're realizing, wow, it's a whole other thing of like
Yeah.
re-raising yourself. And
Right.
I'm almost 40, I'm 38, and I'm pretty much there in as far as I'm I'm retraining my mind of all the things that have shaped me of who I am. I'm the good, the bad, the ugly, all the stuff, and I'm filtering out exactly who and what and everything I want to be. And they say I think your 40s is when you're the most confident, because your 20s, you're figuring things out, your 30s, you're doing it, but then your 40s, you're like, no, this is what I want. This is,
Yeah.
and I think that's where you're at, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Coming into my prime next year. Next
yeah,
year.
yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. I
Yeah.
did do the 10 years of therapy, of consistent therapy with EMDR that has made me I've learned so many things about myself that I had no idea, like you said. Um that I didn't even when I learned it, I was like in denial at first,
Mm.
because you don't want to, you're like, no, I mean, I even in my head, in the beginning with my therapist, in my head, I would be like, I didn't do it verbally, but in my head I'd be arguing with her like she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she did know, and I listened to her and took her words seriously and advice, and it's changed me and my life for the better, dramatically. And it is very, very hard work, but you do grow and get better. So there's hope.
There's hope. That's something interesting too, because you said you've done consistent therapy for 10 years, because you've dealt with depression your whole life, and so you were trying to figure out how to navigate through that and how to deal with it. Um, and someone like me would, I have had therapy several times all throughout the years, situationally. So I didn't dive in deep into things like this. Like, I didn't suffer from depression or any mental health issues. It was situational. And so I'd go to see a therapist for several weeks or several months. And then that situation, I was able to reconcile that situation, and then didn't need therapy anymore. And then, went along my way, and then something else came up. I love therapy. I absolutely love it. Big advocate myself. But this time I've been in therapy for over, so I'm probably like a year and a half or so. And whenever you're in therapy for a long time, you do have the opportunity or to dive in deeper into those things. And I know we had talked about EMDR several times about how it really expedited your healing process. And I love Celebrate Recovery. That's been a beautiful modality in my life of helping me address things. So yeah, it's just interesting how we can all use therapy in different ways. And if people, they don't suffer from any mental illness and they're doing fine in life and everything is okay. Why would they go to therapy? I think everybody needs therapy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it helps
I
you like
agree.
understand yourself and dive in deeper into little nuances, things you didn't even know. And it's been revolutionary for me, and I'm learning a lot about how influences have impacted my life and helped shape me, like you said, all along the way, and different beliefs that I was operating off of. And even like that, how your strengths, if you overuse them, they can become a weakness, and how that can influence your life too. Like it's all about balance and having a good sense of everything, I guess. I don't know. I'm right in the thick of it. So to be continued, I suppose.
Well, I hope you keep us updated
Okay.
because it's something we should all be working on, and as far as improving
Hey,
self-help.
I want to close it off by this, because I was just thinking about so positivity. If I'm so sorry, let me see here. Positivity is on page 29. And all these different assessments and stuff, it's super helpful to help you understand different components and aspects of your life and yourself. But I can't find it right now, so never mind. To be continued. Another conversation another time. Next.
What were you looking for? A
Well, I was
self-assessment question?
well, yes, not the question. StrengthsFinder 2.0 from Gallup was an incredible strengths assessment. And I was looking to see where it said how those strengths can be negative in your life.
Okay. If it's unbalanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or overly used. Well, unbalanced. Yeah. If it's too much, how that can, yeah. So, yeah. And I think positivity and gratitude, I was just really grateful for everything and reframed it into a positive light, but didn't really address other things that should have been addressed, that
Thank you.
I have a hard time addressing, because I feel like it's like silly, or there's bigger things in life, I don't need to deal with that. But then I'm minimizing my needs, and so
Yeah.
I don't know, to be continued. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
about that.
thank you for that, Desiree. I have to say, by the way, I love your hair. It looks very nice. And you got the red lipstick on.
So, yes, if you didn't see your last episode, go see that. Um, Shout out to Red Lipstick. But we did. So yesterday was my daughter's 10th birthday, double digits, and so it leaked on to today, and we went out to lunch, and so wore red lipstick. And my husband says he wants to see me wear more dresses, so wearing dresses for him. But Michelle, one thing I want to talk about is birthday parties. What do you think
Yes,
about birthday parties? Like, yeah,
for our kids or for us?
two different things. That's a good point. I guess for our
Actually,
kids.
well, birthday parties for us too. Like I'm 38. That I was gonna act like I didn't want to share my age, but I've shared it many times already. And I just my birthday comes up and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And I'm just like, I don't. Well, and since having kids, I don't really like. I don't want a thing, and I'm like, how old am I? Like, really, I don't need a birthday party. And then people ask me, I'm like, oh, I have to plan my own party. Like, I don't. That's a lot of work. I don't want to. No gathering, just dinner or a day off from work would be nice. But
Oh.
for kids, I did not do this on purpose, but this was an amazing miracle. My son, I got pregnant with him, what was it, a year and a half after our dad passed. A little bit more than that, but it was way too soon. I wasn't, I was, he was a surprise. But when I say way too soon was I was still mourning our dad, and I was like, how can I have a baby without my dad here? How is this gonna happen? I can't, I was broken. I was broken. And then his due date was our dad's birthday. Like, and that was just a beautiful gift just to have that due date. And I had to have him a week earlier because I had, what's it called? When you get high blood pressure when you're pregnant, whatever that's called. They were concerned that if I didn't have him sooner, that I would have a heart attack or a stroke while giving birth, because your blood pressure goes up when you're in labor.
Yeah.
I mean, pushing a human body out of your body. So I had him a week earlier than our dad's birthday, his due date. And then with my daughter, her due date was the same. It was our dad's birthday again. And I had to have her a week earlier. It was the same like situation. It was, and you can't plan that. Like
Right.
it was a miracle, a beautiful gift. So in saying all that, their birthdays are 2 days apart. And I didn't know how I still don't. She's 2. Her first birthday, I had their birthdays separated because it's her first. But this last one, I combined it, and I remember being little. My sister, our sister is a year younger than me, and we're born in the same month, not a couple
2
days.
days.
It's like
3 weeks
27 days apart. Yeah. Like our birthdays are a bigger, but it's in the same month. And I remember having combined birthdays, and I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it because our mom made sure that we felt special on our actual birthday. She made a big deal out of birthdays. She planned the best parties. Our house was a party house. Everyone came to our house, and she did all the work. And now that I'm a grown up and I'm doing that, I get overwhelmed and stressed out. And we had so many parties at our house. I don't know how she and she loved it. Yeah. Our mom she loved having parties. She loved entertaining people. And I'm like, I just come eat cake and leave. But it, it never works out that way. So this last birthday party for my 2 kids, I wanted it simple, just come eat cake and leave. But it turned into this big old party. I mean, when I say big old party, it was catered, and I don't know.
That's a big leap from cake.
Yeah. And it turned into being a catered party, and there was like 50 people here when I wanted like 20. So it more than doubled. But I mean, because you want to include everyone, but then it turns into a big old thing, and then it's like
a big old thing.
Yeah. And it's a lot to plan, and I give her mom a lot of props for that, because she did it a lot. And she had 3 kids, and I have 2, and she had altogether there's 4, but when she threw the parties when we were little, there was just 3 of us. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes,
What'd you do for Ruby for her big 10th?
for my daughter, for her 10th. Okay, so have you seen that movie Yesterday?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I've seen that movie.
super cute movie that I'm sure every kid wants. So she wanted a Yes Day for her birthday. And I was like, I'm not doing a Yes Day. I'm not going through the car wash with the windows
Yeah,
open or who knows,
I,
whatever.
why did I think of that? When you say yesterday, I think of the car wash.
Because I cringe every time. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So
And
I
the
was
bubbles, the foam.
foam party. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think the parents sanction approve that in the movie, but um, okay. So for her 10th double digit birthday, we did a yes, choose your own adventure day. I so what I was thinking was let me back up before this. Birthday parties. I love hosting parties as well. I love
Oh,
it.
you do?
I love it. Like I remember our son's first birthday party. I mean, first birthday party is really for the adults anyways. Like we had a keg and we had tons of food, lots of people. And um my daughter's first birthday party was actually one of the last times we all got together with our dad. And Nana was there, and you guys flew up, and it was a beautiful time. It was, I love the themes. I've done the under the water birthday party and the princess birthday party. I love it all. Um, and so I also love doing really customized invitations, but it's stressful. So like I have this like grand idea, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then it always comes down to the wire. Like it I sent out invitations a week or two after I was planning on sending them out. And my husband's like, one year he's like, why don't you just do those, like, write it in. You could buy the packs of like 20 cards, come to first birthday party at this time, whatever. And when he sent out, like I cringe. I was like, I can't do that. Like I have so many ideas. Like I want to make it like special and customized. And um
I
there's
don't.
like
I don't even do that. I
I love it.
I downloaded an app that makes your invitations, and you don't even mail it, you email it because
Digital.
yeah.
Good. I don't know if you remember for my son's third birthday party. I love this one. It was a Blues Clues birthday party, and so we mailed out notebooks. Do you remember this? It's a little Blues Clues notebook, and it was like, and I wrote a little poem on every page for like 40 notebooks to mail out. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I
No,
love
that's so stressful. Was that stressful? Did your hand go?
it. Stressful. I love it though. I love it. But there is pressure about it. Like we put
Yeah.
pressure on ourselves. Like no one cares. You probably don't remember about his third birthday party invite, or like I've kept them all because they've all been meaningful to me. So at some point I'm gonna put them together in a book for the kids. They never see the invites anyways. Like they're the other
Right.
kids, the kids don't even know. So this year we did not have a party. Every year we've had a party. This is her 10th birthday. We did not have a party, but wanted to make it special for her. So we did a yes, choose your own adventure birthday. And so I wrote out, so I needed parameters. Like it could not be a free for all. And so so it was breakfast, like for your say yes to your breakfast. You want, give her three choices and she got to pick. And then after breakfast, so she chose breakfast on the trampoline. And then after that we gave her another envelope, number two, and choose your birthday present. And we wanted her to go shopping. She's never been shopping. Like we always go to the consignment store and buy all her clothes. So we gave her a little shopping spree, and she got to choose where she could go shopping. So we gave her some choices. So she chose Target. So we went to Target and she was so cute. So we gave her a tiara and a sash that says birthday girl. And it was cute. Everywhere we went, everyone was like, happy birthday. She's like, thank you. She was loving it. And then we had a birthday adventure, and then we had then we had birthday lunch, and then birthday adventure, and then birthday dinner, and then a last little birthday present. So she loved it. Can I get my next clue? And so it was a yes, choose your own adventure day, because we had to have parameters. Yeah, it wasn't a free for all. And so actually for her birthday dinner, no one was hungry because she chose to go to the movies. And then we went to the movies and they bought a big popcorn and candy. And I'm like, we're supposed to go to dinner after this. She didn't know we were supposed to go to dinner, but I'm like, stop eating, because now we're not going to be. I didn't eat because I knew we were going to a steakhouse or hibachi, or I gave her some choices. Anyways, no one was hungry after the movie, so we just came home. And so we took her out to lunch today. It was her birthday dinner, rain check. Another thing that is so cute, I have to show you a picture. My husband is an amazing baker. He loves to bake, and he bakes the kids' birthday cake every year. I could care less. Like, I could go to the grocery store and buy a sheet cake and be happy with it. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was Ruby's first birthday. I think you were there at my house.
I was there.
JR was sick the night before, like super sick. And I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll get a cake. He woke up he was in bed all night, and he woke up at midnight or something. He was like, I have to make the cake. And he made her cake, her first birthday cake. Like, he is so sweet. So anyways, Ruby, my daughter's pick was cheesecake, and he made homemade cheesecake.
So professional.
It was so good. Oh, wow. My goodness. Yeah, he does that for all of us. So for me and the kids, he makes a cake. That's his thing, and it's special and sweet. And yeah. So parties
our mom would make us cakes.
Yeah. Oh, and our favorite meal.
And our favorite meal, our favorite dinner. Yeah. And yours was always scalloped potatoes with
stuffing, like stovetop stuffing.
What was the main dish though?
I don't know.
I just remember you would always pick scalloped potatoes, and the main dish was something fish related.
Probably.
Yeah, mine was hot dogs and mac and cheese.
It's so funny about scalloped potatoes. You texted me a picture a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I love scalloped potatoes. I was wondering why you texted me the picture, or how you knew that. And he was like, you said, I know, it was always your birthday dinner.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she was so good at making us feel special on our birthday. And that's what you're doing with your kids.
Yeah. Trying to.
Yeah. Well, the birthdays are a big deal for me now because of our mom. It's just nothing goes as planned ever. And I used to think it was me, like, man, I suck. But then I realized they make reality TV shows off of people trying to plan for something, because nothing goes as planned. Nothing. There's always, I don't want to say, I'm going to say a disaster, but there's always roadblocks. Yeah. There's never a straight from here to there, everything works, ever, never. And it's not just me, it's life. And I only realized that like a few years ago when I love watching the reality shows of them building cars, and they're building cars for specific people or auctions, and they make it a reality show because of all the drama it is to do something. Nothing ever goes from A to B. There's all kinds of stuff that get in the way, and yes, so it's just part of life, and that really helps me when things don't go right. I'm like, well, it's not. I used to think it was me, but it's not. It's not. That's just how it is. Until
It is.
everything is AI and computerized, we're human and we all make mistakes.
It's getting there quickly.
It is.
Yes.
It is. It is. It's like I feel like we're on a roller coaster, meaning our whole life up till now has been tick, tick going up. And I feel
Stop.
like we're just free
Going to
falling
free for
down
all
right now.
down. Wow.
But then I feel like, am I saying this because I'm old? Like, don't all, not old,
Yeah, I feel
but
the same
all
way.
old
Yes.
people talk like that, right?
Yes.
They're like, oh, in my day. And I
Okay.
see myself
Oh, yeah.
saying that. Oh, yeah, it was never like this before, you know?
Okay. Another episode. We have to talk more about that because um I do not want to open the door to AI. First of all, as a creative and a writer, and I create and a photographer, AI is taking over all of that. And I hate that it's just all fake. Um, but then it's like, well, it can really help you out with these things and enhance. I have no AI that I know of well, I have no AI that I have actively downloaded to use because I feel like that. And I was thinking, is it because like, well, am I, the older person? I'm like, I'm not using GPS. I'm going to use the Thomas Guide, or like this is where it's
Yeah,
going, and it's going fast, and
yeah,
I'm missing out because I'm like, I refuse.
yeah.
It's so funny you
That's
say that.
so true. I I feel like I'm starting, I have also a little bit of that, like, no, I will not. And then I'm
Yeah,
like, but then I'm gonna be very illiterate.
right.
And but then,
Left behind.
yeah, and I don't want that either. And
Right. But
for
but but
my,
but but
yeah, all these things. And for my job too, yeah, I need
yeah,
what I'm doing for work. It doesn't involve AI, but I need to be aware of AI
yeah.
so I can use it instead of letting it take over my job.
Yes, use it as a tool. Oh, hey, let's talk about that next episode, okay? I
Oh,
want to talk more about AI.
okay.
Okay. Well, I think this is good. We're talked about some parties, and we would love to know your thoughts about parties. If you plan your own birthday party, what do you think about birthday parties? I just went to a graduation party last night that was above and beyond, and she loves that stuff. And some people are just gifted in that way, and some people aren't. And we need to know when we have that gift and when we don't. And if we don't, we need to bring along the people that have the gift to help us, because it's it's yeah, and with the kids, the good old days, it was like punch and cake and stuff, but
Yeah.
now it's not like that. So we would
No,
love to.
it's like prom. All
Yeah.
these balloon bouquets and uh fancy thing, all like the photo booth stuff. And
Yeah.
just, I mean, not just graduation's a huge
Yes.
accomplishment, but it's not a wedding. And a lot of these
Right.
parties I go to feel like they have table covers and centerpieces, and I'm like, I just want fold chairs and
Yeah.
TV trays.
But and then there's pressure about it, of like,
Yeah.
okay, I know that's, yeah, that's the whole thing. But we would love to hear your feedback on that, and we're going to talk more next week about, I think, AI. We should talk about that, or whatever else comes to mind. Just one of our sister confessions talks. So, if you enjoyed this conversation or enjoying our podcast, hit subscribe, and you'll get notification when our next one comes out. And we will talk to you soon. All right, Michelle, I love
All
you.
right. I love you. Have a
All
great
right.
Sunday.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.